Okay, so we stopped last week's video with a pretty deep dive on Cob Cob. Now I'm going to step here a little closer and just kind of touch up on this. We focused quite a bit on the mechanics of Cob Cob and how they translate into everything else we might do. But we also focused a bit on ranges. So, the long range shots, followed by the medium range shots, and then the close range shots with the puños. We also hit a little bit on how you can tie this into, the high, low, low, low sort of matrix that we have built in the past couple weeks. So if you haven't seen that, please go back and check that video out. I was pretty proud of that one. There's quite a bit of really, really good material in there. And you could spend, a week and a half, 2 weeks just sitting there diving in to just the study of the inwards, right? Now, the reason why I recapped that the way I did is because I wanted to kind of touch on Pai Pai or the backhand, 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 backhand series. So the concepts of Cob Cob just closed. Now we are doing all backhands. So I've heard it referred to as this is also Cob Cob. I've also heard it and been taught that this was Pai Pai. So to have some sort of distinction at here at Bandit Brothers, we usually refer to this inward striking motion as Cob Cob and the closing strike motion as Pai Pai. So I'm going to start off this week's episode by saying, go back, check the description box, watch our Cob Cob video. After you've done it Cob Cob, do everything Pai Pai. I'm not going to waste any more time today just reviewing that because I wanted to make sure I touched on the walking drill and another sort of siniwalli pattern that I've been kind of teasing. So, one other quick announcement I should make. I have been getting some feedback, which has been actually welcomed, so keep it coming. But the first bit of feedback I've got is everybody seems to enjoy the content. They seem to like what we're putting out. The one thing that I was kind of encouraged to try is to not throw so much material your way. So I've been trying to just dump as much material as I can to you to keep you trained, keep you moving, keep you active during this crazy shutdown until one of these days you can actually come back and train with us here at the school. But I think that I'm getting too much going too fast. So it was recommended to me to maybe try once a week just offloading material towards you and to try and be a little bit more methodical in the way I present the material. So if this helps you, great, let me know. If this doesn't help you and you want more material, great, let me know. I plan on doing another quick update this week after this lesson with a couple other add-ons to it, but it'll be a much shorter video. And then next week I'm thinking we'll probably just do one long video until the next week after that. So anyway, again, let me know what you think. So we've got our Cob Cob motions, we've got our Pai Pai motions. What we're going to touch on now is inward, backhand, and inward. Okay, I'm not going to go into all the variants of that today. That'll be Thursday's topic. But for right now, let's just keep this as a roof block, right? So I hit an inward, and I roof block and hit a backhand, and then hit another inward, bringing it through. I hit an inward, make a roof block, hit the backhand, slash that inward all the way through. Inward, backhand and roof block, and inward, inward, backhand and roof block, and inward. So when I make the roof block, just as a reminder here, a roof is always over your head. It should not be here. Your roof is not below your head. So a roof is always above your head, and ideally you want it to tip away from your hand. If you have it here like this, you're going to tip sticks right into your hand, and that's no fun. So the roof block, when we first start off, is more of like a static chop, right? We usually just teach this as kind of getting it out of the way. You meet it with as much or more force. But as you get to a little bit more experienced level, the roof block, I've heard Guru Rick Fay refer to this as the cut kick of Kali. So if that shot's coming in, I roof block, but I'm actually cracking that hand with my roof block as I step off the angle. So when we first start off, I'm usually okay with you just blocking it like so. But down the road, I want you stepping with it. I want you moving in, taking that hand with you, and really doing some damage with your defense. But for right now, it's just an inward strike, a backhand strike, and a roof block, followed by another inward strike. An inward strike, a backhand strike followed by a roof block, and another inward. Inward, backhand and roof, 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 inward. Now just like Heaven 6 being 3 on one side, 3 on the other, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is another 6 count, which means you can tie this into our 6 count elevation family if you see fit. So I'll just run through a few of them here because by now you've heard me beat this drum over and over and over again. If you don't have it by now, go check out another one of our videos. You'll definitely see me go over this sort of template of high lows and whatnot patterns. So we'll go all high. We'll go all low. We'll do high, low, high. And we'll do low, high, low, high, low, and then low, high, low. I actually really like high, high, low, so we're going to go ahead and hit that one too. High, high, low, high, high, low, high, high, low, and high, high, low. So again, I'm not going to go into all the detail of that sort of family. You can clearly go back through our videos and see that. But that is what we would call roof 6. Okay, it's inward, backhand, and inward. So in my notes, you'll see a lot of roof 6. But then you'll also see a shift where we go to inward, backhand, and inward 6. So that will dictate, the shots you choose will dictate how you respond. So we'll get to those options next video. But for right now, roof 6. Okay, so we've done our roof 6, and I just showed you how to do it all high, all low, and high, low, and high. So one more time in that order will be all high, high, low, high, and all low. Okay, now you can definitely do this with your 6 directional footwork if you want. This is a great drill in itself. But what we usually do is we usually incorporate our walking drill when you're first starting out. Now, I know some of you who are watching this are not just starting out, but the walking drill is something it's super rainy and cold again today, but the walking drill is something you can do now that it's getting nice out in your backyard. You don't need any contact or anything like that. So it's a great thing to start to work on. Now, I started this last week as either a contralateral motion or an ipsilateral motion. And usually we do it ipsilaterally to start. So we'll start with an angle 1, cob, angle 1, cob. We step and we do an X, 1 and 2, and we step and do an X, 1 and 2. Now I have run out of room, obviously, because you can only see part of my head, all right? So when I go backward, I can keep it going. So we restart at 1, 1, 1, and 2, 1, and 2. Now, that right there is usually what we call stage 1, right? So on your first day, your trial week, we'll have you get to be able to step, step, and step, forward and backward, just resetting after the X. Now, it's really easy because it's 1 step, 1 strike, 1 step, 1 strike, 1 step, and 2 strikes, 1 step, and 2 strikes. So then you back up, it's 1 step, 1 strike, 1 step, 1 strike, 1 step, 2 strikes, 1 step, 2 strikes. Then what we do for stage 2 is we tend to add the high, the low, the high with our slash, then would tick, slash, would tick. So this is just going to be this drill here, which if you want to use this as a burnout, this is a great way to do a burnout if you want to add lunges. But we'll just add that to our walking drill. And I'm going to keep walking towards the camera, and then I'm going to back away from the camera. Now I don't want you to walk towards the wall, then turn, and then keep walking towards the wall. It's really important for coordination that you get to be able to do this walking forward and walking backward. So we'll step and hit 1, step and hit 1, step and hit 2 or the X, step and hit 2 or hit the X, step and hit high, low, and high, step and hit high, low, and high. I have run out of room. I step back, 1, 1, 2, 2. High, low, high, high, low, high. I have not run out of room yet, so I'm going to keep going. 1, 1. Now I've run out of room. 1, 2, 1, 2. High, low, high, high, low, high. Step in 1, step 1, step 2, step 2, step high, low, high. I'm out of room, back up, high, low, high. It's really important to be able to do this, not only conditioning wise, you should be able to move back and forth at a reasonable pace once you get this down for conditioning, but you should also be able to understand that you're not going to be able to dictate where you change your patterns, right? So if I'm all the way here and I'm at the front end of this wall and I can't move any further forward, but I'm still trying to run through all these patterns, that's silly. Why not take a step back and keep the pattern going? So you don't get to dictate what the space allows, right? You are stuck in the space that you're stuck in. So if you only have 2 steps to go forward and 2 steps to go back, then it's going to go 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's fine. You're still getting this sort of forward pressure, backward pressure, forward pressure, backward pressure that you're dealing with. Again, I push this really hard during classes. You have to be able to deal with the pressure that somebody's giving you when somebody's actually working with you, but you have to also understand the surrounding limitations you have through your environment. So that's why I like this drill so much. Now, we're going to add heaven 6, high, middle, and low to this. So all the way through the X of the walking drill is stage 1. Stage 2 adds the high, low, and high. And stage 3, we add heaven, standard, and earth 6. Okay? So I'm going to start from back here again. I step and hit the angle 1. I step and hit the 1 top motion. Step and hit the X. Step and hit the X. I step and high, low, and high. I step, high, low, and high. I tuck it right away as I step. I hit heaven. I step and hit heaven. I step. I got one more step in me. This is high, low, high, 6. Now I'm going to step back for high, low, high, 6, and then earth 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. Then we go back to the start. Angle 1, angle 1, angle 2, angle 2 or X. Then high, low, and high. Step forward, high, low, and high. Step forward, heaven, all high, heaven, all high, high, low, high standard, high, low, high standard, and earth 1, 2, 3, and earth 1, 2, and 3. So that would be our stage 3. Now we'll get to stage 4, which involves the inward back and inward motion, but I want to make sure you get a little bit of reps on that before I just start incorporating it with your feet. So make sure you get your inward back and inward as a roof block first and foremost. We will cover in the next video the options of how to also swing this inward around. The umbrella strike will definitely be important for the walking drill, and we'll add to it from there. So again, I hope you like the more detailed description here, and if you have any other comments, any other questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I'm jonesing to teach. This is driving me nuts not being able to be in here with others and get this going. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much, and happy training.